Joining us right now is four-time F1 champion and the owner for the record for the most expensive scooter ride in Australia, the one and only Sebastian Vettel. Sebastian, what does the calendar of a newly retired Formula One driver look like?
Surprisingly busy. I guess I'm missing the sort of structure that, I know which races are coming up, and I got to do that myself. But yeah, and even despite being German, I'm not always the most organized and a little bit chaotic at times. But no, I'm enjoying the freedom, enjoying the time with the family, with the kids, and yeah, just enjoying to do all the stuff that I wasn't able to do when I was so busy traveling around the world.
Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to go with now, because when you have 15 years of active competition and all the years that it takes to get to that point, what has been your process to turning off that side of your brain?
Well, I think it helps that I had a lot of thoughts about, retiring and choosing the right time. So, of course, I wasn't prepared because you don't know how the days are going to look like. But yeah, it did help that I thought about it beforehand quite a lot. And yeah, I'm very interested in lots of different things. So at the minute, my days are not long enough, and I wish for more time. But I have to, calm myself down and yeah, organize myself to get all the things lined up that I really love spending time in.
One thing that I guess we've all come to appreciate with you is that you are just as much of a super fan of Formula One as you are a part of it. Now, when Max Verstappen crossed the line to get his 10th straight win, breaking your record in a car that resembles yours so much more so when you did it as well, how much of that was watching as a pure fan and how much of it was watching it not as a former competitor?
Well, I think I'm quite okay. I love watching. I love following this. I love the sport, so I love following and obviously admiring what Max is doing at the minute because I know a little bit what it means. And I was telling him and sending him messages beforehand that don't let go now. It's great run and keep going and please surpass me. And go for as many as you can. So I'm very happy that he did. Obviously, it's whether you do I mean, if you win a race, it's a big deal. You win 2 in a row, it's amazing. And then to, get into numbers like 7, 8, 9, 10 now for the first time ever, it's very, very difficult to imagine and think of. So I think it's great for the sport to be able to follow and witness at this point and witness history in the making. And I hope he continues. So not really watching as a competitor and purely, I would say, as a fan.
Speaking of that, as a fan and taking that competitor side out of your brain, is there anyone that you're particularly a fan of now that he's on the grid and you're not?
No, I mean, I know all of them. Obviously, probably the one that I least know is Oscar because it's his first year, but he's doing a great job and I think he'll have a bright future ahead of him. But no, I mean, obviously I know some of them better than others, but yeah, generally I know how difficult it is to put everything together over the weekend and over a race distance. So I'm generally very happy and sort of neutral. Obviously I'm a bit biased when it comes to Aston Martin because it's the team that I drove for lately, but I also still have a strong connection to Red Bull, have a strong connection to Ferrari. So it's nice to be able to choose from and sympathize for more than just one team.
The way that you mentor the younger drivers on the grid was honestly for me one of the best stories that we've seen, courtesy of social media and documentary cameras that are following you guys around behind the scenes. Now, if all of that was there when you were being mentored, do you have any stories that the cameras would have caught that you think would have been perfect for TV or for TikTok or Instagram?
I think there's always stories that are worth to be told every day. Obviously Formula One is in a way, a small community. And, you know, for us, it's mostly the sport. It's the sport we fell in love with when we were kids and we grew up, and the passion that we all share as drivers. And also, I think all the, you know, the teams, the people that, all the staff, the employees at every single team, you know, it's a great passion because you're working very hard, you're working long hours. But then I'm thinking there's so many stories that are worth to be told, that we don't know of. Obviously, Formula One is very popular, and in a way, it always has been. Lately, it's gotten a bit more popular with you know, different insights. But I think also outside of Formula One, you know, in the end, Formula One is a very, very small part of this world, and there's lots of people that deserve a lot more credit and a lot more attention. So I think there are plenty of very exciting and interesting stories to capture. Some that we will probably never hear of, and some that won't travel very far. But thanks to, you know, everybody having a camera with them these days, we get a little bit more insight. So I think we're not short of content if you see it that way.
Absolutely. And you know, two drivers that are taking a lot of that spotlight right now are very young, very exciting, and out of the Australia and New Zealand region. You talked about Oscar Piastri, Liam Lawson also doing very well. How do you rate them on the track? And have you been able to give them any kind of mentorship that you've also been able to do for other drivers?
Well, you know, Oscar is very young. Obviously, you know, our paths, we just missed each other, and
Just missed it.
yeah, which makes sense if you look at, you know, the date of birth and so on. So it's not an unnatural thing that happened. Um, but yeah, you know, it's the kind of kids that you see when you know, I was around in Formula One already, and names that you know, they pop up every now and then in go-karting, and then in all the junior categories. So it's not a surprise when eventually they come through. You know, obviously it's a great chance for Liam now. Very surprising and not easy. But great to see that, you know, his second race, I think he picked up a lot more yeah, routine already, and it will only grow from there. But it's great to, you know, to see new faces. And it's also what I meant when I left, is that, you know, obviously all the marks that I might have left will disappear and wash out one day, and this is fine because there's new guys, new kids, new drivers, you know, leaving new marks on the track and telling a new story. So time has to go on.
They don't have the luxury of bumping into you in the paddock. Let's say that let's say that you were able to sit down and maybe just give them a little bit of advice. What would that be?
Oh, it could be very individual. You know, everybody is different. Everybody has different needs, different thoughts. But yeah, you know, I have nothing to hide, and I'm very happy to, you know, also that the young drivers that I came across in the last couple of years, if ever there was a question, I was of course very, you know, very open and tried to be helpful, because just putting myself back in their shoes, you know, it was nice because, you know, I was, you know, generally drivers opened up. Kimi was very, you know, supportive. Michael obviously was a big help at that age. So yeah, I think it does help, and it does have a different sort of credibility if you hear it sort of firsthand, and you're not you know, you're reading a story or watching a movie. It's obviously you're a lot more connected.
One Aussie that you are very familiar with is your former teammate Daniel Ricciardo. It hasn't been quite the sweet ride right now for the Honey Badger of late. Have you been able to catch up with him?
Yeah, I have. I mean, you know, I didn't watch practice on that day, and I heard only on the weekend that he had an incident, and obviously had an injury, or has an injury. So I've been a little bit in contact with him and wished him well, and you know, I hope he takes his time to come back, because it's something to take care of, and hopefully he's not you know, rushed to get back in the cockpit. But I think he's very eager to get back, and yeah, preparing hard.
Yeah, if there's one way to describe, one word to describe Daniel Ricciardo, eager seems to be a very good word to do that. We're just going to be throwing out some simple questions here. It's just this or that. I'm just going to set it up. You just pick between the two, and after that, we should be good. Is that okay?
That's all right. That's right.
All right, here we go. Sebastian Vettel, you have to answer. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Beach or pool?
Beach.
New socks or new underpants?
Both.
Make your bed or nah, just leave it.
What's that?
Make your bed or nah, just leave it.
Make your bed.
All right. Discipline. I like that. Cheese or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Instagram or TikTok?
Neither. Safari.
Drop your phone or drop a kitten?
Drop a kitten.
Yes.
Like a baby cat.
That's what it says on the script.
No, don't drop the phone.
Thank you. Kinky Kylie or Hungry Heidi?
Hungry Heidi.
Hungry Heidi. I was thinking the same thing. Michael Schumacher or Michael Jordan?
Oh, Michael Jackson.
Kylian Mbappe or Erling Haaland?
Erling Haaland.
Leo Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Michael Jackson or the Beatles?
The Beatles.
Oh, this one is interesting. Sailing or driving?
I like to be in control, so I pick driving. Sailing, I have no, like, it's exciting, and I'm starting to get into it, but I'm not in charge, so for now, still driving.
Hydrogen or electric?
Well, it depends for what, but probably both.
Let's say the sound of the engine.
Again, it depends. I mean, there's lots of different variations when it comes to hydrogen. I think
Both?
it's what you grow up with. You know, you would always, everybody that grew up with cars would always say cars over horses, but everybody that grew up around horses would always pick horses. So, you know, somebody who grows up with electric cars probably would pick electric cars. So we are just in that transition. So to be seen.
I like that. Alain Prost or Ayrton Senna?
Well, it's not fair because I know Alain. I don't know. I'd pick both. I think they both they're very different. That's why they clashed. But
Okay.
I'd pick both.
Lando Norris or George Russell?
That's harder because they're both still around. Depends for what.
Let's say it's the final race of the season for the championship. Sebastian Vettel has to pick the racer.
It depends who. Yeah, it's not. I don't like. Yeah. It depends the season they have had and so on. So I'm getting complicated, but I put George because it's first in the alphabet.
I like that. Okay, Daniel Ricciardo or Mark Webber?
I see where you're going. They're very different, but I actually get on very well with both of them. So
awesome. And last but not the least, to close us out, you have to be the person that we ask: Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen?
Well, statistically, it's always Lewis. There's a lot more to come, I think, from Max. That is to be seen. But if you pick this year, then I think Max is having an incredible year, and he's the man of the season. So at the minute, Max.
And if there's anyone that knows what it's like to have a storied career, it is you, my friend. Sebastian Vettel, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.